ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. These are the verses which are directly showing us the shift of thought. I will not go into each verse. We can always refer back. But you see the importance of Jnanam being showed from 35th verse, because Jnana sadhanas in the form of yajnas was already given before that. So the importance of Jnana for moksha, and moksha means paramashanti. That paramashanti, which is what is the innermost desire in everyone, for that paramashanti, Gyan is the direct means, and that is glorified in these verses. And to such an extent, it is said that even when you are not fully recognizing the value of knowledge, but you pursue it just on Shraddha, that also brings knowledge, which actually implies that it's a pursuit of knowledge, continued pursuit of knowledge, which brings knowledge. Because the only thing that can take one away from adrishyam, adrishta goal, a goal which is not visible, what can take away a person from pursuing that? Because it's an invisible goal, never going to be tangible there. Anything or what can actually take a person away pursuing this goal, the period of time is, the length of time is, that they start getting a doubt in it. Your own self-doubt in the knowledge can actually take you to stop pursuing it. So the importance of Shraddhavan Labhate Jnanam is Shraddha keeps you persistent because the goal is not visible. So you only thing that counters your doubt in yourself, and the doubt will only arise when the sensory based knowledge, the Laukika Jivan, becomes predominant in mind. जो दृश्यम है, जब दृश्य जगत मन में बढ़ जाता है, उसकी वैलिडिटी, उसकी रियलिटी बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग लगती है, तब संशय आता है for that which you can't see. Moksha you can't see, Ishwar you can't see, Karmphal you can't see. All these Vedas and knowledge, Vedantic knowledge, you can't see what is applicable, what is not applicable. Atman you can't see, Brahman you can't see. You know, actually you're just delving from unknown to unknown as if in the entire pursuit. The only thing that takes you along with that pursuit is the fact that the knowledge of what you see in the drishyam, you begin to suspect that knowledge is flawed. What makes you develop Shraddha in Jnanam is when you actually begin to recognize that the knowledge that the senses is giving me, that knowledge seems to be flawed. उसमें दोष दिख रहा है. That knowledge doesn't seem to be illuminating enough to give me parama shanti. जब वो निश्चय होने लगता है, तब ऑटोमेटिकली जीव दूसरी तरफ टर्न हो जाता है, विमुख हो जाता है. विमुख फ्रॉम what the world offers, टर्न हो जाता है. And therefore, this portion kept on saying the beauty of knowledge, the glory of knowledge. Krishna by here was concluding it to say, like he says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate, 38th verse of chapter 4. There is nothing greater purifier than knowledge. Then he said again, for those who will not pursue it persistently will not get neither joys here nor sukh later on, 40th verse. And as he continues, and then 42nd, therefore. So if you sit quietly and go through these verses, you realize definitely the of verses and the moolam shifts straight away to Arjuna's question. And therefore, the importance of Shankara bridging this, what chapter 4 could have left a person with a sanshaya. And what was that sanshaya that we saw? I am just quickly once again doing it. Hopefully I'll be crisper and shorter. What he wants to say, like in first paragraph on page 181, connecting it between first and second verse and the last verses, he started by saying that the context of Arjun's question is valid. And if you go through this verse the third time, fourth time, the Bhashyam, you will realize actually Shankara's Sambandh Bhashyam gets over with 0.1 paragraph. Sambandh Bhashyam from fourth chapter to first verse is finished in 0.1 paragraph. What is the necessity after that to elaborate is because it kind of leaves behind a person with a doubt that, as the Purva Paksha said, that both seem to be right. Yeah, so emphasizing, then why pushing me to do karma is what Arjuna's question is. And because a student can confuse himself to say कि ज्ञान की इतनी बढ़ाई की हुई है, इतनी ग्लोरिफिकेशन दी है, तो मैं अपनी जिंदगी कर्म में क्यों निकालूं? Student will not question himself, herself, except at the level of his genuine desire to do the best in his life. What will come bring me the best? वो तो उसी में interested होगा. उसे नहीं पता चल सकता है कि is that path, what is that path, and is he ready for it or not? He only knows he would want the best for himself. And what is going to be the best for himself, he will not know. He will think, अगर अर्जुन कृष्ण ने कहा है ज्ञान सुपीरियर है, बहुत highest purifier है, eliminator of all greatest papam, which is अज्ञानम, उसका है, तो student कहेगा why not? Why should I not pursue knowledge? This, Shankara says, requires explanation. And so he starts from point 2 paragraph, where he brought in the Purva Paksha, who's representing us, to say, where is the confusion? Now see, the point in which I wanted to highlight is, Shankara is presenting the doubt as clarity in a Purva Paksha's mind. पूर्व पक्षा ने कहा, इसमें संशय क्या है? आत्मविद को संन्यास कहा है, अज्ञानी को कर्मा कहा है. Where is the doubt? If you get the flow of this, Shankara is saying that the Purva Paksha has no doubt. Means that there is no doubt in what chapter 4 has concluded to say. Jnani must take sannyas for nididhyasana. Ajnani should stick to karam yoga. There is no confusion. If this is accepted, because this is right, if this gets accepted, Shankara's hint towards us, towards looking in that direction is, then first point, Arjuna's question becomes foolish. बहुत बड़ी बात है ये हम नहीं सोचेंगे एक्चुअली आराम से. अगर 4th चैप्टर खत्म कर गया है सही बात कह के, तो 5th चैप्टर, if Arjun starts with the question, then what's good for me? It implies that Arjun is confused and is fairly deluded. काफी बुरे हाल में है वो. In mental state काफी बुरा हो गया है. That's the first implication. A wrong, subtle message can get promoted in the name of knowledge. The level that knowledge is telling us is, in spite of Arjun being so qualified, Agyan can surface as confusion because avidya is there. Avidya is steadily there for anyone, everyone, in spite of the fact how well qualified you are. But this becomes almost not conveyed. If you just take the question, why is Arjun again asking the same question? So first point is, Arjun becomes not a Vedantic student. Arjun becomes an emotionally crumbled student. An emotionally, what is the right word? Emotionally devoured. Emotionally unripe. Emotionally entangled. That's the right thing. Arjun becomes an emotionally entangled person. An emotionally entangled person, Brahma Vidya is not the path. ब्रह्म विद्या उसको डायरेक्ट रास्ता नहीं दिखा सकता, क्योंकि उसको अपनी इमोशनल एंटेंगलमेंट को अनएंटेंगल करना है पहले. That emotional entanglement, because of which if he is asking this question, then somewhere he is not the student of Vedanta. Brahma Vidya becomes not the direct solution for him. Is this much clear? Since Brahma Vidya is meant for Jignasa, Arjun's prashna should be taken from the standpoint of a Jignasu. He still has Shraddha. Usne kya suna is what Shankara wants to point out. Not from the standpoint of an emotionally crumbled person, but from a standpoint of a highly intelligent person who is following the teaching, and in manner of following the teaching is sincere to pursue the teaching, understanding that that teaching is for his well-being entirely. उसने जब सुना है, क्योंकि मूलम में अपने आप कहा ही नहीं है कौन सा सन्यासी, they are not specified किसके लिए कौन क्या जरूरी है. तो अर्जुन सुनने वाला दोनों को सुन रहा है, संन्यास की ग्लोरी भी सुन रहा है, एंड यू टेक टू कर्मा भी सुन रहा है. The first point is Shankara's Sambandha Bhashyam, by bringing the paragraph of Purva Paksha here, is to dismiss away the slightness of Arjuna's intention that we read into, likely can be read into in society, because the second point is more relevant. First point is to clarify that Arjun was not any ordinary student. Yes, he was not at the level at that point of what we say as like Nachiketa, the student. Because there was an emotional collapse, yes, but he was not a person who was not in a qualified person within himself. So, first point was, Arjun ka question has validity. More important than that was, Bhagwan has given an answer in the second verse of chapter 5. If it was a foolish question, then Krishna answering that question seriously would have amounted to, and this is very careful for any serious student again, this would have amounted to making Bhagavad Gita lose its status as Shastra. बहुत बारीक बात है ये. अगर अर्जुन कुछ ऐसे ही प्रश्न पूछ गया आउट ऑफ हिज मेंटल हालत, फिर भगवान क्यों जवाब देगा उसको? भगवान doesn't need to answer that. Why? Because this book has been given the status of a Shastram. Shastram means Pramana Vakya. It is not a psychological treatise. It's not a psychological upliftment alone. Bhagavad Gita, what Shankara puts in tremendous, because there were other commentaries also, the Dvaita commentaries, the Vishishta commentaries also prevalent. Shankara wants to differentiate the approach to a student, to say that the fact, it's a very simple logic, that agar entire Gita is to be taken as a Shastram, then every verse here cannot have a lesser value than the other verse. So Arjun's Prashna is also very valuable. And if Shankara makes that statement that Arjun ka Prashna bahut valuable hai, now the onus lies on Shankara to give the explanation why it is valuable. And that is what the Bhashyam is about. Why is the question valuable? Shankara puts in that vision so that to a student like us in later times in society, the knowledge to be sustained, whoever is reading it should have the sustained clarity of the vision of the Shastra. Eka Vakyatvam is Shastram. So that no verse is taken away to mean lesser than previous or later. And the value of Bhagavad Gita as a Shastra and as a Moksha Vidya, a Brahma Vidya, Moksha Vidya, is sustained as that so that a seeker of moksha begins to view it like that. I hope I've conveyed this well. That a seeker of moksha later in time would have, if this clarity wasn't there provided as a Sambandha Bhashyam, then for us to casually read it could have left some people like this Purva Paksha who's certain कि इसमें कोई doubt है ही नहीं. मुझे तो बहुत interesting लगा when I was thinking in the morning. He's actually put it in a way, Purva Paksha को कोई doubt नहीं है, and Shankara says that doubt नहीं है is the doubt. that I'm clear is the doubt. Shankara puts it like that. That 0.02 paragraph starts like that. Because yes, you're right. Shankara did not deny the fact that what Purva Paksha has said is wrong. No, he's right. So when he feels he is right, there is no reason to doubt your rightness. Yet Shankara says that rightness can have a limitation in your perception. आप कल इस नॉलेज को जब और परस्यू करोगे तो आपका विजन में शॉर्टकमिंग आ जाएगा, because the question in between that Arjuna has asked is to unfold a very important siddhant. And what is that siddhant? That these two were spoken of to two different people and not at the same time to be done by one person. Question is, संन्यास और कर्मा दो अलग लोगों के लिए वैलिड तो है, मगर एक इंसान उसको साथ में नहीं कर सकता. दो अलग अलग इंसान, एक जना ये कर रहा है, एक जना ये कर रहा है. That's okay. But again, the fall of that thought would be that you are saying there are two ways to moksha. दो अलग अलग लोग अगर equally pursue कर सकते हैं, by the answer that comes that they both are nishreyasa karatvam, that means karam yoga will also take you to moksha. And sannyas of course will take you to moksha. तो दो अलग अलग लोग हैं, मर्जी है choose. That is how in the society, for the active, fill in the blanks. For the active, karam yoga. For the emotional, bhakti yoga. For the intellectual, jnana yoga. For the lazy, deluded, hatha yoga. Oh my god, hatha yoga in itself is not for the lazy and the deluded. Hatha yoga also has sadhana till samadhi. So you are giving a message to society. Not only you are giving a message, you are validating a wrong statement. And what is the wrong statement? That karam yoga will also give you nishreyas. And sannyas will also give you nishreyas. And between the two, somehow karam yoga is correct for you, is superior for you, and then somebody has to, अगर भाषा नहीं पढ़ते तो explanation तो देना पड़ेगा. So the explanation is because it's easier. And we are all active people, we are all in the world, we are all with family life, we can't run away, we can't take sannyas. Therefore, therefore, keep karma, moksha. moksha. Purva Paksha will think, means any one of us can innocently conclude, if we didn't have this paragraph in between, that moksha ka karan karam yog hai. Shankara clarifies, puts in that effort, saying no. The reason that he started to give, why they both cannot go together. So we finished with 0.2, and he said over there that they are both contradictory to each other. Why both cannot give nishreyas? Now सिद्धांत starts. ये unfoldment है, और ये unfoldment उपनिषदों के भाष्यम्स में दिया हुआ unfoldment है. It's as important as that. दोनों को साथ क्यों नहीं जोड़ के रख सकते? या दोनों में से दोनों ही क्यों नहीं श्रेयस का कारण बन सकते, निश्रेयस का कारण बन सकते? Because reason, they are contradictory to each other. अलग फल देते हैं. Both are opposed to each other. Karam yoga and karma sannyas by word are opposed to each other. एक तरफ करने की बात है और एक तरफ त्यागने की बात है, दोनों साथ नहीं हो सकता. And if they both cannot be together, the reasons Shankara gives is importantly because for karma to be done, you have to be a karta, identified with your organs of action. शरीर से जुड़ना पड़ेगा ना, शरीर से इच्छा से जुड़ना पड़ेगा, तभी कर्म बनेगा. Without thought, no action. And what is the general term? All desires are thoughts. You won't get a thought unless there's a desire. All desires as thoughts propel you to action. And this cycle keeps generating itself ceaselessly because your constant vision as a jiva, your constant vision is of yourself as a jiva. As an individual will identify with his individual organs. If I have a sense of individuality, I will but natural identify with those that give me that sense of individuality, which is my organs. My body gives me my sense of individuality, no? My body, if in sleep, I don't have the sense of individuality. But the minute I wake up, I have a sense of individuality. Why? Because the association is so instant that probably we don't have that measure of time. कि उठते ही कैसे जुड़े हैं हम शरीर से. That जुड़े जो हैं हम शरीर से, that makes us sustain कि हम limited हैं. हमारे पास सब कुछ नहीं है, हमें कुछ और चाहिए, हमें कुछ और बनना है, हमें कुछ etc. This is kind of a preliminary portion. That keeps the karma alive. शरीर से जुड़ के जब हम कुछ कर रहे हैं तो वो एस्पेक्ट ऑफ अहंकार जो कर्म में एक्सप्रेस हो रहा है, दैट्स द कर्तापन. कर्म में हो रहा है अहंकार, दैट्स द कर्ता. And without karta there can be no karma. So there is sakriyata is the word he uses here. This Atma as Sakriya Atma means Jivatma. Sakriya रहता है. Sakriya means ever in action. So on one hand, for anyone to do karma, he has to be Sakriya. And Sakriya means the Karta is Sakriya. Karta bha Sakriya. It's active. It's identifiable. कि आप जुड़े हुए हो उससे. If this is so, he says its direct root causes karta क्यों हो? Because of self-ignorance. So the direct root cause being ignorance, karma only comes from ignorance. Karta is necessary for karma. कर्ता और कर्म को अलग नहीं कर सकते. एंड कर्ता कर्म को अलग नहीं करते तो बट नेचुरल है दैट द रूट ऑफ कर्ता, which is अज्ञान, that remains intact. Not only it remains intact, I probably won't have the right word for it. It is just like a screen on which the movie is projected. Normally we give this example for Atman, But if you replace that, how that screen remains avidya. उसमें कुछ ना कुछ प्रोजेक्ट होने की पोटेंशियल रहती है. So karta will generate karma, and its root is agyan. इससे बिल्कुल विपरीत ही says is. What happens in karma sannyas? What happens to karta in the first place when there is karma sannyas? In karma sannyas, he is not identifying with karta. And because he is not identifying with it, he is also in karma sannyas pursuing Atma Vidya. And Atma is Nishkriya, जो कुछ करती नहीं है. It is free of all action. So Atma is Nishkriya Akarta. Atma being Nishkriya Akarta, the one who will want to identify with it, establish in that knowledge, जिसके लिए कर्म अगर वो करता रहेगा तो क्या वो establish हो पाएगा? नहीं ना, क्योंकि it will be counterproductive. On one hand, you are saying Nishkriya Atma I am, entire Nirvana Shatakam is establishing Nishkriya Atma. On one hand, I am saying I want to establish in self-knowledge. On the other hand, I am active. The karta sense is strengthened. बहुत बारीक बात भी है और बहुत obvious बात भी है. Once it points to us, हमें बहुत obvious लगने लगती है, just like gravity. जब तक हमें बताई नहीं थी, हमको कुछ हैरानी नहीं थी कि चीज नीचे क्यों आती है. अब बताने के बाद हैरानी होती है कि पहले कैसे नहीं समझ में आई हमको. Till it was brought to us. This is also something like that. You know? करता है अकर्ता इतने contrary हैं. इतनी obvious चीज है ये कि कर्म संन्यास and karma cannot go together. It is so obvious. मगर फिर भी till it is brought to our notice, hum means the jivas keep the karma alive with the hope that it is through karma that they get nishriyas. Karam se prapti hoegi. That is why that phala tyaga in karam yoga is so fundamentally, it is fundamental prerequisite for Brahma Vidya to move ahead. कि अगर फल त्याग की आदत नहीं बनी है, habit, it is a habit. कि जब तक इतनी प्रैक्टिस नहीं, अब हैबिट बनती कब है? प्रैक्टिस से. अगर प्रैक्टिस नहीं हुई है तो हैबिट नहीं है. इतनी जब तक हैबिट नहीं बनती कि फल त्याग की आदत सी पड़ जाती है with practice, then you start seeing कि जो फल आधार कर्म करते हैं हम, which is right up to heaven, स्वर्ग आदि कर्मा. So from daily life activities, हम तो अब thanks to or good luck, bad luck, who knows, Vedic karmas have gone. So nobody is really engaged in those karmas which will actually be result oriented directly for afterlife results. अब वो है ही नहीं इतने सोसाइटी में. I at least I'm not aware of many people, groups doing it. Maybe in some parts still alive, but majority of urban living people are not pursuing Vedic karma. And Vedic karma was all designed for karma phal. And yet उससे संन्यास लेने की बात हो रही है for आत्मनिष्ठा. This contradiction अगर आपको नजर आ गया ना, trust me, all Upanishads भाष्यम gets clear. Because शंकर हर उपनिषद में इस बात को, जब तक we don't get saturated of this thought, he repeats it. As if initially I remember one odd time it was very irritating also. Why does he keep bringing in every? No, you think there'll be new point कुछ और बोलेंगे, इस उपनिषद में कोई और point आएगा, इस उपनिषद में नया point आएगा, and हर उपनिषद में कर्म संन्यास की बात आ जाती है, and that कर्म not go along with कर्म संन्यास. A point of irritation comes when you say, why is he repeating so much? And then it dawns upon you, if he is repeating so much, there is a reason to look beyond what you see. And what is that reason to look beyond? Necessity to identify the value of both of them cannot be sustained together. कि वो हमें क्लैरिटी चाहिए, हमें समझ में आना पड़ेगा कभी कि ये दोनों साथ नहीं चल पाएंगे, कि अगर मुझे आत्मनिष्ठा चाहिए तो कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ द रेल्म ऑफ कर्मा का त्याग होगा ही होगा. और अगर मेरे को कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ कर्मा रखना है फॉर सम रीजन, then there can only be one option, which is mental sannyas. विद्वत सन्यासी ये चॉइस है कि you take the ashram karma, ashram based life sannyasi, or you do mental sannyas after Shravan Manan is over. But sannyas is the only method. Sannyas is the only karma sannyas. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam are the only Vedantic sadhanas. वेदांत शुरू वहां होती है जहां चित्त शुद्धि हो के श्रवण के लिए एक जीव तैयार हो गया है. You know how when they are children, first I remember I started with my niece. First time she went to school and her parents took her photograph, and she was very beautiful photograph of how she was with her father, and that it's and the chubby, smiling, enthusiastic child, a photograph there of the first day of her school. And then they took a photograph. I mean, only my sister-in-law knew of this. When the father and daughter had forgotten about it, then they took the last day of her school ka photograph, or her college, something like this, some photograph, and it was so identical, except so many years had gone. The child is now an adult, fully qualified in life. But the first day of schooling and the last day of schooling, what all went in between was one word. The first day started the preparation. Till the last day, it was preparation. It was still preparation. Now that preparatory stage, how long is it? Now this preparation is what entire karma gives to a person. And कितना हैरानी की बात है कि हम कर्मों से ही थक जाते हैं. कर्मों को लेके ही हम कंप्लेन करते हैं, भाई मुझे, मेरा, मैं, सब, ये वो, ब्ला 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 ब्ला. तो हम सब कर्म को करते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा मुझे करना पड़ता है, मुझे ही सब कुछ करना पड़ता है, वो सब वृत्ति कब शुरू होती है? Can someone answer? When does this vritti start? When I don't have the vision that karma is preparatory. If I have the vision that karma is mandatory and preparatory, it's not preparatory by choice. It's mandatory preparatory. I have no other way of preparing. If I get that sorted in my mind, how will I look to karma then? As an opportunity. जितना जल्दी हो खत्म हो, तो अभी श्रवणम के लिए तैयारी चाहिए ना. You will need life for it. तो अगर श्रवण के लिए इतने साल चाहिए और उसमें मनन है, फिर निधिध्यासन है, तो जितना जल्दी कर्म से प्रेपरेशन हो, जितनी अपॉर्चुनिटी आ जाए कर्म की, अच्छी बात है ना. So how the vision changes, that karma no longer becomes a personal obstacle. This sorting out is Vaidika vision. how it was preparing human beings to be actually dynamic in life, because they could see that karma has a short-lived value. It's not an endless cycle, but it remains endless when it is not taken as preparation. So Shankara here in this paragraph, through Purva Paksha, who said कि मुझे कोई डाउट नहीं दिखता, शंकर कहते हैं आप हो अपनी जगह पे राइट, बट there is a problem if you don't think a little more like a thinker, because we will be absorbed with our senses and jaldi moksha capsule de do, something that I can take in 5-day capsule, 15-day capsule, 5 years, some kuch de do jaldi se, I'm all peaceful after that. Beware of such capsules where you think you are getting liberated for some time. Why? Because the process is, if you are prepared, then karma automatically falls off. The need to karma falls off. जरूरत पड़ती ना, हम लोग सब रेस्टलेस, कुछ नहीं करते तो रेस्टलेस है. लुक एट अवर आयरनी, करते हैं तो गुस्से में आते हैं, हमें ही करना पड़ता है, और नहीं करते तो परेशान हो जाते हैं कि कुछ करने को नहीं है, करना मतलब कुछ करना है, और जब करने को आता है तो सब हमें ही करना पड़ता है. Isn't this an amazing what is the right thing? It's silly to it's a misvalue. It's a misvalue.
Dichotomy.
It's a dichotomy. Absolutely. क्योंकि हमारी कर्मों को लेके विजन क्लियर नहीं है. एंड कर्मों में अब तो हमारे वैदिक कर्म तो छूट गए, तो अब कौन से कर्म रहेगा हमारे पास? हम कौन से जाके कोई चाइना से डील करने वाले हैं, या अमेरिका से? ना हम फॉरेन सर्विस में है, ना हम पुलिस सर्विस में है, ना हम किसी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विस में है, ना हम कोई डॉक्टर है, ना हम कोई इंजीनियर है. मतलब इन दैट सेंस कि हम अभी कंटिन्यूड एक्टिविटी में, हमारी जो भी एक्टिविटी है, जितनी भी है, what else is left but to be within that? And once that preparation stage is through, karma falls, the need for karma falls, karma need not fall. See the difference? The need for karma falls, karma need not fall. The need for karma falls means what? वो तो एक, you will say, हमारी तो कोई need नहीं है, हम तो आराम से, I have no need. Then are you contemplative? If you are sitting in contemplation, ठीक है, फिर श्रवण मनन करो, भगवान के हाल छोड़ दो, if your self-assessment was correct or not. The fact is, for a prepared person, the qualities that you read in 13th chapter, 12th chapter, 16th chapter, 2nd chapter, they are your inherent qualities. अगर आपकी preparation है, when your yardstick for it is, don't judge yourself to say, हाँ हमें तो interest नहीं है कर्मों में. There are many reasons Arjun wanted to run away. Remember, उसको interest नहीं था कर्म में. Never ever forget this context of Gita. Only then will the vision remain aligned. उसको नहीं था इंटरेस्ट कर्म में, मगर उसी को बोला कृष्ण ने, तेरे लिए कर्म ठीक है, तू फिर भी कर्म ही कर. क्यों? बिकॉज उस स्थिति में जिसमें वो था, वो ज्ञानी, he tells him, you talk such words of wisdom, ज्ञानी की ये स्थिति नहीं होती. That means you still need preparation. So from point 2 later onwards, that he's first introduced that they're contradictory to each other. विपरीत हैं। कर्मा में कर्ता एक तरफ रहता है जिसका मूल अज्ञान है। ये साइकिल परपेचुएटेड रहती है, और जब तक ये साइकिल परपेचुएटेड है तब तक उसकी विपरीत है आत्मा इज अकर्ता, निष्क्रिय आत्मा. You will have to choose this side or this side, because it is not about Atma that you are reading. You, the Atma, is Nishkriya, Akarta, and you, the Atma, is allowing yourself to be limited and therefore Karta. इंसान तो एक ही है ना. Have I made the point clear? One of the points the Purva Paksha said, दो अलग अलग इंसानों के लिए है. कर्म is for one person, ज्ञान के लिए दूसरा है. Correct. Now, one person only is the karta and वही akarta भी तो है. So at a time he cannot be both. Just like standing and moving, they cannot be going together. वो खड़ा भी है और चल भी रहा है, वो करता भी है और कह रहा है मैं आत्मा करता भी हूं. दोनों नहीं हो सकता. So he says, first point I said today was to emphasize on the importance of Bhagavad Gita being Ekavakyam. And Ekavakyam of Bhagavad Gita is its Moksha Shastram. Therefore, every verse here relates to that. And the second point that I have made just now is that it was on Shankara now to elaborate why Arjuna's question was not a confused question. It was actually an intelligent question, because in there lies more to what it appears on surface. And why is it intelligent question? Because apparent is, अब बताने के बाद इतना common sense लग रहा है, gravity के जैसे. हाँ, but natural. How can पता न करता है कोई? दोनों में से एक ही तो है, क्या करूं? Am I ready for that or not? He doesn't know. He is hearing it as an avidya person. He wants Shravanam, Mananam, Gyan की तरफ निकलना चाह रहा है वो. He wants to spend most of his life for that. Rest of his life. We talk about Arjuna. Magar, this is a text available for humanity. To each one, he will take it as a path revealer. उससे वो सोच सकता है कि मुझे क्या करना है. And now point 3 had started, which we should start. Takes so long to. So, is there anybody who wants to follow?
Follow me.
Yeah, Shruti. Okay. प्रतिवचन वाक्यार्थ निरूपणेन अपि प्रष्टुः अभिप्रायः एवम् एव इति गम्यते.
एवम् एव इति गम्यते. Was I audible? Am I audible?
Now.
Katham
संन्यास कर्म योगौ निःश्रेयस करौ तयोस्तु कर्म योगो विशिष्यते इति प्रतिवचनम् एतत् निरूप्यम् किम् अनेन आत्मवित् कर्तृकयोः संन्यास कर्म योगयोः निःश्रेयसकरत्वं
निःश्रेयस्करत्वं
प्रयोजनम् उक्त्वा
प्रयोजनम् उक्त्वा
तयोरेव
तयोरेव
कुतश्चित् विशेषात्
कुतश्चित् विशेषात्
कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगस्य
कर्मयोगस्य
विशिष्टत्वम् उच्यते
विशिष्टत्वम् उच्यते
आहोस्वेत्
आहोस्वेत्
अनात्मवित् कर्तृकयोः
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
तत् उभयम् उच्यते
तत् उभयम् उच्यते
इति.
इति.
So he said, now we're just revising once more. Iti prativachana vakyartha nirupanena. So Shankara is saying, even with the answer to what Arjuna had asked in the first verse. So prativachan means answering. By the meaning of the answer, artha nirupanena. Nirupanena means analyzing the answer that Bhagwan has given. उससे भी प्रष्टुः अभिप्रायः एवमिति गम्यते. The intention of the questioner is arrived at by the answer that Bhagwan has given. So here Shankara says Krishna would not have answered it if Arjuna's question was not proper. Katham, how is this arrived at? He's giving the explanation by first quoting the verse Sannyasa karma yoga nishreyasa karau tayoho tu karma yogo vishishyate. So in quoting this verse, he is showing that, where is it? Sorry. That sannyas, karma sannyas and karma yoga both are karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga is vishesh, special. Iti prativachanam. This is the answer. Etat nirupyam. He says this answer needs to be explained. Etat is this. Nirupyam means isko answer ko samjhana padega. So Shankara is taking the onus of giving the explanation of the verse in the light of the question. Kim anena atmavit kartrikayoho sannyasa karma yogoyoho nishreyasa karatvam prayojanam uktva. Atmavit kartrikayo is the one who is a nididhyasu. Remember we said Atmavit. Actually this word is correct. I don't know why in between acharyas brought in Vidvat and Vividisha. जरूरत नहीं है उन वर्ड्स की. आत्मविद मीन्स आत्मविद्या को जानने वाला. whose श्रवणम मननम is complete. Because इससे खुद को पता चलता है, it's an assessment of oneself. This word is a very beautiful word. Atmavit is referring to one who has knowledge of Atmavidya. Automatically, I will know whether I have the knowledge or not. Isn't it true? Am I Atmavit or not? I can know. But if I use the word Vidvat Sannyas with Atmavit, suddenly it has become reference to someone else. Sannyasi. Some Vidvat Sannyasi. So Atmavit Katra means जो जानने वाला है आत्मा को. That one. Sannyas karma yoga nishreyasa karatvam prayojanam uktva. To the answer,
seems to be saying that sannyas and karma yoga have the prayojan of nishreyasa. Both can give nishreyas. Uktva has been said. Tayoho eva, between the two, kutaschit visheshat. Shankara is giving that extra question that we may have missed, as I said in my introduction. Tayoho eva kutaschit, ऐसा कौन सा स्पेशल कारण हो सकता है? विशेषात, स्पेशल रीजन. कर्म संन्यासात कर्म योगस्य विशिष्टत्वम उच्यते. That from कर्म संन्यास कर्म योग विशेष है. Got the point? So Arjuna's Shankara is saying the question is, what is that special reason for which it must have been said that karma yoga is superior to karma sannyas? And ahosvit, or means, is this message that both are nishreyasa karatvam, and for what reason is karma yoga special? Has this been said to atmavit? That's the first question. These lines are meaning, is the verse answering to the atmavit, ahosvit, or indeed anatmavit kartrikayoho, or is the answer given to the anatmavit, means not atmavit, anatma ko janne wala? Is this answer referring to atmavit or anatmavit? Sannyasa karma yoga tat ubhayam uchyate. That these two are applicable to anatmavit. This is the question. If you will go around, say, you will get the entire meaning. I'm repeating once again, just as the essence of it. Shankara has introduced that subtle query in it, which we would have missed. What is the subtle query? The query is, Bhagwan's answer needs to be analyzed. उसको थोड़ा और explain करना पड़ेगा. कैसे? सबसे पहले ये पूछ के कि ये भगवान आंसर आत्मविद को दे रहे हैं कि अनात्मविद को दे रहे हैं. To whom has he given this answer? Kincha, now he says, because he's going with the flow of the listener who is certain that he has no doubt. I said in the beginning of the class, पूर्व पक्षा उन्होंने ऐसा उठाया है जिसको पक्का पता है कि कोई डाउट नहीं है, उसको ये डाउट ही नहीं है कि उसको डाउट है. तो भगवान शंकरा उसको डाउट के जैसे डाल रहे हैं. So he is saying, kincha ataha. So now that doubtless doubter, उसको पूछ रहे हैं, यदि आत्मविद कर्तृकयो हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? जिसने कहा था कि there is no confusion, दो अलग अलग इंसान को कहा है, तो वो पूछ रहा है अब शंकरा से, जिस शंकरा ने कहा कि पहले पूछो कि आत्मविद को कहा है कि अनात्मविद को कहा है. तो ये अब पूर्व पक्षी पूछ रहा है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है कि आत्मविद को कहा हो कि अनात्मविद को कहा हो? उन्होंने कहा है अगर आत्मविद हो तो संन्यास ले लो, अनात्मविद हो तो कर्मा कर लो. ठीक है? So these are the next few lines. Let me just quickly take them. Kincha ataha यदि आत्मविद कर्तृकयोः कर्म संन्यास कर्म योगयोः निःश्रेयस्करत्वम् तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगस्य विशिष्टत्वम् उच्यते.
कर्मयोगस्य विशिष्टत्वम् उच्यते।
यदि वा
यदि वा
अनात्मवित् कर्तृकयोः
अनात्मवित् कर्तकयोः
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
तत् उभयम् उच्यते
तत् उभयम् उच्यते इति।
So he says, kincha, moreover, क्या फर्क पड़ता है यदि, if, so he's repeating the same word, so I'll quickly run through them. क्या फर्क पड़ता है अगर, if, यदि आत्मविद कर्तृकयोः means आत्मविद को कहा है कर्म संन्यास कर्म योग दोनों निश्रेयस कर देते हैं, तो उनके बीच में कर्म संन्यास से कर्म योग विशिष्टत्वम उच्यते. He's repeated the whole verse. Got the Sanskrit part of it? So he's only paraphrasing it to say, how does it matter कि the whole thing has been said to Atmavit, यदि वा, or else to अनात्मवित् कर्तृकयोः संन्यास कर्मयोगयोः तत् उभयम् उच्यते. The same thing has been said to. Got it? Yeah. Let's continue because now starts Siddhant, for which since 2 days I have been giving introduction. अत्र उच्यते
अत्र उच्यते
आत्मवित् कर्तृकयोः
आत्मवित् कर्तकयोः
संन्यास कर्मयोगयोः
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
असम्भवात्
असम्भवात् तयोः
निःश्रेयसकरत्ववचनम्
निःश्रेयस्करत्ववचनम्
तदीयात् च कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगस्य
विशिष्टत्व
अभिधानम् इत्येतत्
उभयम्
अनुपपन्नम्.
So now the answer Shankara is giving to that Purva Paksha which got introduced in 0.2, who had said कि there is no confusion, आत्मविद के लिए कर्म संन्यास, अनात्मविद के लिए कर्मयोग, दो लोगों के लिए है. Then Shankara said, हमें आंसर देखना चाहिए, भगवान ने आंसर क्या दिया है, और पूछना चाहिए कि भगवान ने ये आंसर आत्मविद को दिया है कि अनात्मविद को दिया है. तो वो पूर्व पक्षा who is intellectually bored now, yeah, as acharyas would say, मतलब वो most of the people who come to Gyan don't want to think, that short capsule. तो क्या इतना hair splitting करते रहते हो, unnecessarily going into details जा रहे हो, tell us the क्या कहते हैं उसको, give us the cream. Rest assured, if you get the cream of Vedanta, you don't get moksha. You don't get clarity. Why? Because the prakriya is the process. There's an English quotation. It is not the destination but the journey. Something like that. Not the destination but the journey. Is there something like this? Yeah. It's not at the destination you arrive, but the journey that is enjoyable. In the same way, your final wo good khana hai is not the process. The process is to go through this intellectual somersault because it is that which is addressing the agyan. ये हमारा अज्ञान है. So he's asking us, पूर्व पक्षा हमारे जैसा कह रहे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, किसको कहा है, बात साफ है. अत्र उच्यते, शंकरा से फर्क पड़ता है, किसको कहा है, क्यों फर्क पड़ता है. Now has given the reason. फर्क क्यों पड़ता है. अगर तो ये आत्मविद को कहा है, आत्मविद कर्तृकयोः संन्यास कर्म योगयोः, means the sannyasa that the vidvat sannyasi would take. For him, asambhavat. It is an impossibility for him. What? That both should be nishreyasa karatvam. If there is a knower of self, Atmagyani, uske liye it is impossible that both will be the means for nishreyasa. Asambhav, both are the means for nishreyasa. Tadiyat cha, and that Atmavit Kartrikaya Karma Sanyasat Karma Yogasya Vishishtatva Abhidhanam iti etat. This possibility will not arise in the context of Atmavit. That both may say which of them is Vishishta. If the context is Atmavit, are you following or should we following? If the context is Atmavit, जो ऑलरेडी श्रवण मनन कर चुका है, सिर्फ निधिध्यासन कर रहा है, अगर उसको ये वर्स कहा है तो उसके लिए फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, it is impossible for him, this statement cannot apply that both will give you nishreyas. He is going to give the reason. He is making a sangraha vakyam. Both will not apply to him. Therefore, where is the question of saying that Karma Yoga will become Vishesh for you? This is Moola Siddhant. Both will not apply to him. Why will they not apply to him? He is going to give the answer. The first statement is they both don't apply to him. Why do they not apply to him? He says, Yadi. Okay. Before that, he still completes it. Yadi.
Yadi.
Anatmavidaha.
Anatmavidaha.
Karma sanyasaha.
Karma sanyasaha.
Tat pratikulascha.
Tat pratikulascha.
Karma anusthana lakshanaha.
Karma anusthana lakshanaha.
Karma yogaha.
Karma yogaha.
Sambhavetam.
Sambhavetam.
Tada.
Tada.
Tayoho.
Tayoho.
Nishreyasa karatvoktihi.
Nishreyaskarat voktihi.
Karma yogasya cha.
Karma yogasya cha.
Karma sanyasat.
Karma sanyasat.
Vishishtatva abhidhanam.
Vishishtatva abhidhanam.
Ityetat.
Ityetat.
Ubhayam upapadyet.
Ubhayam upapadyet.
He says, first statement, Atmavit ke liye both do not apply. Therefore, which will be better will not apply. Yadi anatmavidaha. If the verse is said to the anatmavit, then karma sanyasaha and its opposite, tat pratikulaha. Uska jo vipreet hai, which is karma anushtan. So karma sanyas and karma anushtan, कर्म अनुष्ठान जो कर्म योग का लक्षण है, there is something to do. In karma sannyas, you have to give up the doing. Karma anushtan, do karm yog. Uska vipreet is, you can't say do karm sannyas. Can you say do sannyas? Sannyas karo. कैसे करो संन्यास? ना करना is संन्यास, कर्म संन्यास.
That is why there's a confusion between inaction and sannyas, because दोनों में ना करना की बात आ गई. Inaction is also नहीं करना, which appears like sannyas नहीं करना. So mix up happens, no? So that tamas वाला inaction and sattva वाला sattva sannyas दोनों में inaction है, नहीं करने की बात है. I don't identify with my organs of action. So he says, if it is said to anatmavid, then karma sannyas का विपरीत कर्म अनुष्ठान जो लक्षण है वो संभवेताम, it is possible. So seeing the two opposites as being stated to anatmavid, this possibility is there. Therefore, it will need clarification. But for the one who is an atmavid, these possibilities don't arise. Remember, he is giving explanation why Arjuna's question is proper. So, Vishishtatvam abhidha iti etat ubhayam upapadyate. Both parts of the question become possible. Atmavidastu
आत्मविदस्तु
sannyasa karma yogayoho
संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः
asambhavat
असम्भवात्
tayoho
तयोः
nishreyasakatva abhidhanam
निःश्रेयस्करत्वात् अभिधानम्
karma sannyasacha
कर्मसन्न्यासाच्च
karma yogaha
कर्मयोगः
vishishyate iti cha anupapannam.
विशिष्यते इति च अनुपपन्नम्.
So he is somehow, Shankara is now concluding the paragraph by stating the first line that since applicability of the answer only fits into the case of an anatmavid and not an atmavid, therefore atmavid tu sannyasa karma yoho asambhavat. His conclusion. Therefore, for an atmavid, tayoho means since it's impossible to bring the two things together, karma sannyas and karma yog anushtan, दोनों नहीं हो सकता. तयोहो निश्रेयस करत्व अभिधानम. That will be the support of nishreyas. Both can be the support of nishreyas. Karma sannyasat cha karma yogaha vishishyate iti cha anupapannam. This cannot be possible, tenable. The answer will not fit in the case of Atmavid. Since they both cannot coexist in the knower of Atma. Why? Because Atma is akarta, निष्क्रिय. अगर वो इतनी दूर अपनी समझ में पहुंच चुका है कि कर्ता इज ओनली अविद्या बेस्ड एंड सिर्फ कर्म कर सकता है कर्ता, एंड कर्ता इज नॉट मी, जो इतनी दूर अपनी सोच में आ गया है, उसके लिए कर्म कैनॉट बिकम द मीन्स ऑफ मोक्षा. So he says this verse is not applicable, the answer is not applicable to Atmavid. विद्वत सन्यासी को ये नहीं कहा गया कि both are karan for nishreyas. Both can only be said as karan for nishreyas if the context is anatmavid, like Arjun was, and who wants to start the journey for Atmavidya. तो उसको कहा जा रहा है कि ज्ञान is very glorious, but you take to karma.
so that he gets clear of the stages that are to be covered. It is not two people, it is the stage of self-unfoldment. Okay. Then comes now, Purva Paksha still again continues a little bit. He wants to question. Let's just start this question so that I can carry forward. I think we'll have a... If everyone's okay, we will try and have a class tomorrow. But I will give you the message by evening. Today message will be if there is a class. If there is no message, means no class. I don't know. I think today there seems to be some confusion maybe with a few people. So let's just start this because now the thought flow has built and we shouldn't stop this. Otherwise I'll again start the whole thing. No point. Atra aha.
Atra aha.
Kim atmavidaha.
Kim atmavidaha.
Sannyasa karma yoga yoho.
Sannyasa karma yoga yoho.
Ubhayoho api asambhavaha.
Ubhayoho api asambhavaha.
Aho svet.
Aho svet.
Anyatarasya asambhavaha.
Anyatarasya asambhavaha.
Yada cha.
Yada cha.
Anyatarasya asambhavaha.
Anyatarasya asambhavaha.
Tada kim.
Tada kim.
Karma sannyasasya.
Karma sannyasasya.
Uta karma yogasya.
Uta karma yogasya.
Iti asambhave karanam cha.
Iti asambhave karanam cha.
Vaktavyam iti.
Vaktavyam iti.
I forgot to share the screen. Atra aha. Now he says, here in this context, one can say, इधर तक clear हो गया? So Shankara is building it up further. अब कोई फिर से कुछ पूछ सकता है, representing a Purva Paksha. कि now Purva Paksha can ask here. I'm taking a little detour, I'm sorry, I'm taking a little detour to give a side principle. When people initially would say, build your intellect, how do you build the intellect? The way to build the intellect is actually through the process of Bhashyam. It's the Bhashyam study which builds the intellect. Yes, the gross world questioning will build your gross intellect. But if you need Atma and Atma Vidya and its discernment, then you need the Sukshma Buddhi. And Sukshma Buddhi means what? That capacity to be able to think in further deeper layers, because Atma is evident but seems to be not evident today because Anatma Buddhi is jakdi hui. Is this making sense? Through the Bhashyam, this process of Purva Paksha, then Siddhant, then Purva Paksha, then Siddhant. The har point pe hame lagta hai answer complete ho gaya. And then Shankara again brings up another question, Purva Paksh keh ke. Now when he brings that question, your intellect gets educated. It gets awakened. तुम्हारी बुद्धि का वो प्रश्न बन गया जो तुम्हारा होना चाहिए था अगर तुम्हारी सूक्ष्म बुद्धि होती. अगर हमारी सूक्ष्म बुद्धि इतनी होती, मीन्स अगर हमारा कर्मयोग हो चुका होता, अगर हमारी चित्त शुद्धि हो चुकी होती, तो बुद्धि में एक सूक्ष्मता बनती है, क्योंकि मन अब ठहर गया है. तो बुद्धि तो बाय स्वभाव सूक्ष्म है, मगर हमारी चलती नहीं है क्योंकि हमारी अनात्मा जड़ित है. So that very faculty को polishing करने के लिए is the whole process. So once he's finished the first layer of questions, now we think the answer should be through we can move on to Moolam verse. अगर ये paragraph नहीं होता, हमें नहीं suspect होता कि there is still more answer in it. So now the paragraph is again asking, the Purva Paksha once again saying, Kim Atmavidaha Sanyasa Karma Yogayoho Ubhayoho Api Asambhava. That impossibility that you have spoken of for Atmavid to combine Sanyas and Karma Yoga, क्या ये दोनों ही impossible है आत्मविद के लिए? Very subtle question. शंकर ने कहा ये दोनों impossible है आत्मविद के लिए. पूर्व पक्ष पूछ रहा है क्या ये दोनों ही impossible हैं या आहोस्वित अन्य तरह से या उनमें से कोई एक असंभव है? Are both impossible for him to do, or are you saying the impossibilities of him, of one of them to do? And if it is one of them to do, then yada cha anya tarasya asambhavaha, if only it is one of them which is impossible, tada, then kim, is it karma sanyasaha or is it karma yogaha, which is impossible iti, in this manner? Asambhave karanam cha vaktavyam iti. Kindly tell me the reason clearly. Nothing is gulped down. That's why we say Vedic culture, Vedic study, Vedantic study is the most liberal study and an education and not a religion. It's building the thought process. Purva Paksh कह रहा, शंकरा ने कहा, I'm repeating once more. शंकरा ने कहा आत्मविद के लिए दोनों impossible है. I have already given you the reason so that your mind is quiet, but actually in the Bhashyam he's going to give the reason now, if you go by the thought flow. आत्मविद के लिए दोनों impossible है. Therefore, to talk to him about saying Karma Yoga is Vishesh for him doesn't apply. Asambhav hai ye. So before he gives the answer क्यों असंभव है, he's putting Purva Paksha there to clarify the question clearly. कौन से question को वो address करने वाले हैं? Shankara is going to give an answer in the form of giving a question through Purva Paksha. And Purva Paksha asks कि जब आपने ये कहा कि दोनों असंभव हैं, तो क्या दोनों ही असंभव हैं उसके लिए? कर्म संन्यास के is impossible for him to do karma sannyas and also impossible for him to do karma yoga. Are both the impossibilities there with him, or is only one of them impossible and he can do the other? And if one of them is impossible, then please state, is it karma sannyas which is impossible or karma yoga which is impossible? Beautiful question. I know, I think a lot of you are, okay, some of you are confused. Naina? Thank you. Confused? No. He's asking, अभी question है, answer जब आएगा शुरू, तो अपने आप सारा बैठ जाएगा. Then we'll summarize it once more. He's only first putting the question in our mind. Don't gulp anything down, in other words. श्रद्धा के नाम पे प्रश्नेन नहीं है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए. You should have the capacity to question, and that capacity to question is what Purva Paksha is talking of. Both are impossible. This answer that Bhagwan has given does not fit in the context of Atmavid. Pehli baat. That much he says. Purva Paksha says, but sorry, it does not fit in Atmavid, but it fits in Anatmavid. The answer is fitting not in Atmavid, but fits in Anatmavid. So Purva Paksh says, he says, When you say it doesn't fit in Atmavid, do you mean to say that both he cannot do? Karm sannyas mein nahi kar sakta because he thinks sannyas is something in a Vividisha stage. So if you're talking of Vidvat sannyasi, वो तो established है, अब उसे तो कुछ करना नहीं है. So is both impossible for him to do, or is one of them impossible? And if it is one of them impossible, then which one is the impossible one? And this is the answer he is going to actually elaborate. And once you get through this answer and then start the Moolam from the first verse, then you will realize why 5th chapter is Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga also. And 6th chapter culminates into Sannyasa Yoga. It will be one thought. Before I exhaust your buddhi even further, कल हमारी थी, आज आपकी हो गई होगी जरूर थोड़ी सी, but we'll conclude the class here. And in case if all is well, then today evening before sleep, please check if there is a class. I will give a message. If no class, then no message. We'll end the class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hariom Deepti ji.
Hari Om.
Hariom Deepti.